Oh, that's a ballsy move. I'm just gonna stand here. And by the way, how can he be breathing at that altitude too?
We don't know. We don't know what altitude he's at. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of 8th MS Team. I mean, relationship drama?
Yeah, pretty much. And it seems to be going to continue in this episode, according to next time on. Everybody has, except for Terry, apparently.
No, I mean, technically, all of your dead friends. That's a relationship, or it was.
Yeah.
That's actively being used against you by the 7th MS Team.
Karen, husband that died, and possibly Eleanor? Who hasn't died, but is still in the hospital.
No, I'm saying Elidor is probably the only example of one that doesn't have any relationship drama.
Well, with Karen.
Not really. There's no drama there. He grabbed a boob and got away with it. I mean, there's no active drama because Karen's not even bringing it up. But I was talking more like pre-existing. He's got nobody in his past apparently.
No. Sorry for that. Michelle, and BB, whoever this BB is. Barbara Blue. What BB stands for.
It's a proper noun. Could literally be anything. Among words being all made up, the most made up words are proper nouns.
Yeah. And of course we have Amada and what's her name? Amiya?
Aina. Or Kiki, depending which way you want to go.
Also, yeah. A triangle with an underage. I'm gonna stop. Never mind.
I mean, I would argue the one with Kiki is the more present one because it's happening right in front of him.
Yeah, but it's more like she has a crush on him and he's like, no.
It's literally drama, though.
Yeah, oh, it is drama, yeah.
Whereas the one with Aina, again, Aina's not even thinking about him.
She's too focused on her brother.
She's not focused on the brother, she's focused on the project.
Because it's his brother's project. She even said so in the balcony scene, like, yeah, I'm doing this because it's my brother's dream.
No, she believes in her brother's dream, but she's still focused on the project. She talks about the project more than she talks about her brother.
He's a test pilot, so.
Then, you know, I mean, if you were going to argue about a triangle, because again, Aina's not even thinking about him, I think the real triangle would be Yuri, Norris, and Aina. You cannot look at Norris and think there's nothing going on there. Like, maybe there actually isn't anything going on there, but it very much feels like Norris would like if something was going on there.
No, I get the feeling with Norris that he's more of the I'm a loyal servant kind of person, right?
Yeah, he's a nice guy, is what's happening.
No. I don't think he falls into that territory.
Oh, no, I'm not putting him into the I'm a nice guy, so you're going to feel like you owe something to me so that I can get some off this. I think he's a white knight. He is a nice guy. That he would be all on board if Aina wanted to do something, but nothing's coming of it. As opposed to Yuri, who's the Black Knight, because he really wants something to happen.
Anyway, shall we move on to this episode then?
All right, let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Still very much of an era.
Yeah.
This show. And more specifically, what I meant is it's a time frame that's not being covered by any of the other shows right now.
I mean, what's the one where it's that's
we're still pre-November, and the next thing to happen is like November 5th, which is starting to cover the Xeon evacuation of Earth, I want to think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have my UC timeline thing in front of me where I've been jotting down notes of this episode happens on this day and this is what happens in that episode to remind me of what's happening on specific days. Same thing I did with our Legend of the Galactic Heroes thing, where I have like what's happening on each month.
Yeah.
So, we're technically in Xeon's final days on Earth. I mean, technically, we're in Xeon's final days. Et al.
Yeah.
Well, the Principality, I guess. I don't know if they renamed themselves post-armistice. Post-armistice.
Well, I think they would, if for the only reason that
separate themselves from the things that they've done.
And, especially from the Sabi family, right?
A hostile rebranding. Well, you don't want to separate yourself from the Xeon part because that's what your ideology is based on.
There you go. Talking about them leaving.
Again, almost had myself drawn as this guy because I remembered how fucking cool he looked. Yuri stands up and is like, you might know me as the undefeated of the East. If he ran out there and beat a bunch of general models by hand, I would not complain. And to think...
Is that a nuke?
I don't think so. Yeah, it's just a big old bomb, not a nuke. Well, maybe. I actually don't know. I think it's just a big bomb. I don't think it was a nuke.
Yeah. It was a vaporization bomb, whatever the hell that means.
Well, remember, fire bombings did more damage than the nukes did. There's a reason I put her on the board. She's already on the board. She went to the base with them.
Yeah.
She saw him hitting on Aina.
Yeah.
No, just think about that. He's like, I got this easy. No, think back to Barbary. Freaking out about everything. Wow, we should have just planted nuclear mines. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just got to think that... Is this post-Odessa or during Odessa?
So it seems to be post-Odessa because they're retreating. They said it's not going to end in Odessa, right?
Well, it seems to imply Odessa is happening.
Yeah.
Because if it was a nuke and Odessa, you'd think we'd know about that.
Yeah. Oh, it's a vaporization bomb, so it's distinct from a nuke, right? Now he's without power. Stuck.
Oh, we're in midair flying at God knows what speed. Time to climb out of the cockpit.
Oh, that's a ballsy move. I'm just going to stand here. And by the way, how can he be breathing at that altitude, too?
We don't know. We don't know what altitude he's at. I can't remember the last time we've actually... Okay, never mind.
Those are mountains.
Yeah, well, not all mountains are at the same height.
True. If they're snow covered, they're pretty tall.
I mean, if they're dead, then I'd be wondering what the thing is moving around for at all.
Maybe autopilot, perhaps.
Would she even recognize you that easily? Last time she saw you, you were in a full-on spacesuit. You gonna hold up the watch? Glad you're okay. You remember I just tried to kill you a second ago, though.
Yeah. How romantic. I mean, those are snow-covered mountains, so yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not so much then that you couldn't breathe at this height. It's more so that you wouldn't acclimate this quickly to the thinness of the air. Except for Radio Shack, which existed when this was recorded, but no longer. Maybe Circuit City. Oh, wait, no, not there either.
Yeah, that's not gonna bite him in the ass in the future.
Ah, lessons. Don't break a leg about it.
There they go.
Yeah, it didn't really help us with the elevation, though.
Yeah, those are meters? No, I don't
Well,
think
no, I'm saying he was 20 meters above the mountain. I don't know how tall the mountain was.
What? Oh, you.
He's not going to jump ship.
Oh, true, but he's the reason why she's crashing.
Well, I mean, you probably mean because he's holding on. I think more so because of the fact all the damage he did to her thing. Also, the element you don't know the thing's not crashing on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, technically it is a Gundam. What the fuck is max mode?
No limiters, I guess?
Well, at least you won't see it coming. Now the awkward bit of surviving, and did you mean that, or
Yeah.
were you just saying that because you thought you were gonna die?
Enemies to lovers. Pretty right quick, I guess. Well, not lovers, but...
Well, now that we've survived, I've got to tell you about this real awkward 17-year-old that might become a problem down the road.
Oh, oops. Bye! You're alive. See ya. Hey, an ejection seat!
Of course, only the Federation.
No, they're smarter that way, I guess.
Well, to be fair, it's also a ground unit, so all the effectiveness of the ejection seat of a mech warrior.
I mean, it saves you from an exploding
Yeah, but I guess you're
Machine.
ejecting into the sight of whatever was attacking you to begin with.
問題はない必ず回収しろはっどちらへお前がいれば私が指揮する必要はあるまいしかしアイダ様救難信号は連邦のものだ私のアプサラスは勝ったのだよ
Or, you know, conceivably, the Obsolus was destroyed without being able to put out a distress signal.
You could be kilometers away, dude.
Yeah, considering parachute and this massive wind velocity.
Yeah.
Nope, we'll say she's fine. In fact, she got dressed up.
Mhm.
Well, blow it up to make sure that nobody captures this thing.
連邦の救難信号をキャッチしましたアイダ様返答敵の強盗が来るのも時間の問題はい返答
ごめんなさいノリス今度は私の番なのです
Heat blanket?
Yeah.
Well, that worked out well.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
風を防がなきゃ
Oh, Cold War.
Hot spring?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, this whole area... Oh, because it's melting off of his suit.
さっきのマックスモードの余熱残っているんだ
ノリス大佐これ以上は天候の回復を待つアイダ様ご無事で
Yep. Not hot anymore.
Also, you don't. Well, it's a fun.
Also, the speed
gotta
at
say
which
this.
that froze over. You had a good place.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So, equipped with an ejector seat, but no supplies for wherever you might be ejecting into. Side 2, huh?
Oh,
So they gassed side 2, huh? It's crazy, I don't even remember this. How the fuck did I forget this? It's fucking crazy.
シロシロあなたの手は凍傷にかかっているの無理はしないように
I'm just gonna ignore that.
手も明かして
I'm actually into
固められれば
I'm actually into broken men. This works for me. Well, I mean, that puts a lot of shit into context.
シロ
So Side 2 has been destroyed by this point, as per the notes.
さっきのことは気に
he was a soldier that survived because he had a suit on. He didn't get gassed.
ジオンが憎い
Also, I mean, that was worse than Island Iffish.
空で
We didn't see those
But they
people.
also got gassed.
No, but we didn't see those
No,
people
they were-
bleeding from the.
Bleeding.
That was some
Yeah.
sort of. That was bubonic plague level shit.
たとえ
That's
恋人がいて
probably was.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something that we didn't discuss when we were watching Origin, because it's like somewhat of a spoiler, but it's not really. Is that I had done when I was watching with Griffin originally? I'd done a whole breakdown of what GG gas actually is, and it literally does that.
Yeah, it burns your interior, your lungs filled with.
Well, no,
fluid.
it's essentially like bubonic, the stuff that happens to you when you go through the bubonic plague, but also
That's it.
so
That's it.
well, it's
chlorine,
more
chlorine.
well, it's more than that. It's so many war crimes in one.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that we didn't see the people in Island Fish going through the worst of it. Like, those people's skin should have been bubbling up and shit. And the way that we saw it there, the blood just coming off of the fingertips.
兄は違うの。
Sorry, Mirror, did you get shot?
兄は違うのです。
手伝ってほしいことがあるんだ。
Help me lose my virginity.
連邦の新兵器でしょ。いいんですか。
機密のことは忘れてくれればそれでいい。この手じゃ
Oh yeah, sure. She's gonna do that.
できそうもない
Well, she probably will. She just said her brother was wrong. We're making big steps.
そこまで信用するの。
するさ。せめて
You know, I haven't seen what happened.
兄さんのことも
How the fuck can he even... This is such a huge step that I would, like... I don't know where Shiro's coming from. You know, like, not to go too hard into, like, the real territory, but this is like visiting the camps and coming back, like, thinking, I think people are inherently good. Like, ooh, I think you pulled the wrong
She's
message.
a hot girl. I think. Oh, as long as they're hot chicks, it's fine, I guess.
やってくれ。
Yeah, I guess to be fair, he hasn't pulled this like any other Zeon soldier. Yuri, I love you.
Oh, instant hot springs.
Well, yeah, I mean, what else were we gonna do with it?
Yeah,
必ずおかしなことを考える人。
this show is certainly not Japanese, of course.
Well, I mean, you need something hot, right? What are your
Yeah.
options?
手がチクチクする。
Yeah, I mean, this isn't really gonna help you.
戻ってきたしょ。
足がしびれちまう。
Because, I mean, what you need is time.
入んないか。
But of course, the hot springs so they can actually have a bath in it.
Well, I'm
But
talking about...
naked, both of them.
I'm talking more about the frostbite. You just can't
Yeah.
instantly heal frostbite by putting your hands in hot water.
You know, this has fallen.
戦線の兵を収容しろ。基地の防備を固めるのだ。地球の勢力地図が変わる。
Well, at least you can explain this is so much more explained than the Kigali opening in Gundam Seed
Yeah.
Destiny.
ドキドキした。
私も。
Go figure, we've only spent like 20 minutes of time together.
人形みたいだ。
Oh, the evil castle. Of,
Well,
yeah.
there goes our explanation that maybe they ran another Banshee. They're literally on Munzo.
愛な。愛な。愛な。
Yeah,
He
I
looks
think...
younger though. He looks a little younger than you
Not
thought he was.
much.
He doesn't look.
Anyway, I think my fadeaway was a lot worse than yours.
ギリアス兄さんの人形なんかじゃない。
Okay, that sounded nasty.
No, I mean, it goes to the flashback.
Yeah, I know, but still, you know. Oh. I guess they're sending their own patrols to find him, and
Yeah, frozen over already.
私たち二人、この世に残った最後の。
Yeah, give it enough time.
yeah, enough vaporization bombs, I guess.
I guess we could reverse the Antarctic Treaty.
またきっと会えるよな。
Don't know where. Don't know when. Dr. Strangelove.
Well, that wasn't Norris.
戦う必要なんかない。
Well, when you
That's-
get gassed.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
And the other.
that's disingenuous to everything. Like
Yeah.
even Xeon had a reason to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, independence from oppression is a good reason to fight.
Yeah, it is.
教えてくれアイナ。これが戦争だ。
I mean, the argument is there's no reason to go to such extremes. You know,
Mhm.
gassing, nukes, etc.
Dropping entire bounties on planet Earth. So we can
Well,
destroy
there
entire-
we might not joke. I'm joking.
Oh,
That's what I said. He was setting it to explode.
アイナ様の救助を急げ。連邦はもう一機いるぞ。
This is the second time you've been rescued first and left me behind. That's how we saved the animation budget to not have to have her walk backwards.
yeah. Make it all dramatic.
連邦のパイロットは
You know, it seems like they're controlling the airspace right here. Why didn't they try and take the Gundam?
I mean, it seems to be. They probably expect more fighters to show up.
Well, I know that's what they said, but I don't know. It just seems like a good opportunity to get information on the whole Gundam situation.
Yeah, but that would take time for them to get in, try to get into Gundam. Yeah.
I don't know. I would risk it.
Maybe that's not his
Literally, it's
priority. He wants to save
valuable
her.
information. Oh, yeah, but you could still do that and the other thing.
I don't think they have enough people,
We have no idea.
though.
I'm just saying that's
there was
literally valuable information that you might not ever get a second chance to get. Because imagine that they got that and used what remaining resources they had left on base to reverse engineer a Xeon Gundam. Literally, they don't have anything like that right now.
Also, I don't think that what's his name, Guineas cares about that. He's all about Absolus. So
I understand that, but
commander.
he might not be in command for much longer.
Mm.
We literally just saw Yuri is going somewhere, and the only other place
Hey,
Yuri has been.
no, he said he was going to fall back to that base. So yeah, he's
That's
going.
what I was trying to just imply it.
Yeah.
Because obviously we would just be seeing a random commander that we don't, or admiral rather, that we've seen somewhere else before.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he outranks Guineas, and Guineas was probably going to be like one of those my base, my command kind of guys.
吹雪の中のアイナは幻だったのか。生還した俺を待っていたのは軍の厳しい審問だった。そんな時危機の村が敵に襲われる。なのにスパイ容疑を晴らせない俺は謹慎を命じられてしまった。なぜ連邦軍は動かない。助けなければゲリラだって仲間なんだ。次回機動戦士ガンダム第 08MS 招待軍務と理想。
Because as it turns out, the EFF? The EFF?
That's,
EF
Federation. EDF.
SF.
EDF. It's EDF. The
Well,
Air Defense.
Actually, on my overlay here, on the Gundam's shoulders, it says EFSF. And I know I had my artist use art as a inspiration, so they must have gotten that from somewhere. Maybe Earth. Is that Earth Federation Space Forces? Special Forces?
Space Forces, I think. Mm.
It might be Space Forces, yeah, because the Gundam was specifically designed for space, because, you know, Tamino says this thing wouldn't work in Earth gravity, so it's not supposed to. But, you know, we had to have show on Earth, so... either way, Point being, Earth forces aren't all good either.
No, definitely not.
Well, I mean, nobody is. We know that from Gop. Gop just wants to keep the war going. The same as, I feel like Elend was his counter on the other side. No, not Elend, because Elend is the spy. Who was his counter? Was it McQueeve? I guess it was McQueeve.
McQueen wants to keep the war going.
I'm thinking back to the Antarctic Treaty, where, let's keep the fighting, just keep it clean. And their implication that they want to keep the war fighting forever. Well, Giran also says that essentially out loud. That we keep the war going forever because so long as we have somebody to fight. Because, Degwin was all about we can just, negotiate peace now. They're like, no, we can keep fighting until we're in a better position. And literally, better, best, and downhill. We never negotiated.
No, I think also remember that this is not something
asshole.
they discuss. Well, no.
Sion
Sion was in a precarious position. I mean, they just declared independence and they declared a aristocracy. That is built on the force of personality of or people worshiping the Sabi family in Lu. But that could easily be overturned quickly, especially if you have peacetime and the government doesn't work, right? Especially if they have to source all the materials themselves or says, okay, we have peace, but we're just going to put an embargo on you. We don't have to sell you anything. How about that?
Again, though, my point is that Degwin wanted peace, and it was Giran that was preventing it. Well, it was Giran and Revel that was preventing it. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm calling Revel the asshole. But I assume Gop's element here is the element that we've discussed before, that we've never seen a Earth Forces democracy. That maybe Gop is like, as long as the war keeps going, we, in the head of the military, have control over everything. So, we don't want the end of the war either. Because granted, the most evil that we've seen has obviously come from the Zeon side. But that's also an element of the fact that show needs a villain.
Yeah. I mean, but consistently, Zeon has used weapons of mass destruction.
You say consistently 3 times.
At least twice. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I mean, once you hit number 3, you get into the hat trick.
I'm standing against the word consistently. Not against the actual fact that they've done it.
Attempted it 4th time. McQueen just failed, but he used them.
I don't remember what you're talking. No, you're talking about the nuke.
Yeah,
I wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even counting that. That was. Oh, I'm not counting that if you're counting the show Odessa. If you're talking about the movie Doan's Island, that one's far more egregious.
Yeah, because that missile was supposed to go everywhere. It was going to kill. Destroy dozens.
Well, I guess it's
the cities. It was targeting dozens of cities.
Yeah. Well, no. So I'm trying to think if it was a MIRV or if it was actually just multiple silos all over the place.
Yeah. No, I think it was just one missile. Just the one missile with MIRV warheads.
Well, I don't know, because it's weird because the expected use of a MIRV was rocket fires, goes towards target, breaks apart into multiple parts. And this is more like launches up. Flower explosion because it's going all over the world. So that feels less like a MIRV. Anyway, I'm counting Island Ifish as 2 because it's obviously the gassing of the inhabitants, and then using essentially the coffin as a mass weapon. So then McQueeve at Odessa side. Well, here's the thing. I'm obviously going to increase the count more now because it's also side 2, but then it's also every other side except for side 6. Because we know they're all been destroyed. Side 2 is the only one we've seen now beyond Island Ifish. Hate, essentially. So, we can just count 5 other sides. So
with multiple Banshee,
So we'll just remove Island Ifish and side 2. We'll count 5, and then we'll count an extra one for obviously the gassing. So 6, and then the nukes. So 7.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, no,
a pattern that implies consistency.
No,
I
it's
could
not.
be wrong,
Well,
but
it's not consistency though, because consistency implies it is the modus operandi. It's the one thing that they do. And let's say 4 of these we only know happened because of a map. We haven't actually seen, so we don't know what the circumstances are, right? Could have been an actual conventional battle that just spilled over, right? The fact that we keep seeing Zaku just like poke their head up through walls. It's like, that's not technically on the par with like the gassing attacks. That is just conventional warfare in space, it feels like. Now,
Yep.
the other ones, obviously, there's no defense for. But other than the fact that maybe the other side is doing it too. And if you don't meet force with equal force, then you're going to be left behind.
we don't have, like I said, we don't have any evidence of the Federation doing that.
I think the evidence is the Antarctic Treaty. Because I don't think Zeon's going to sign a treaty that only prevents them from doing a thing if they're not afraid of the Earth Federation
I'm
doing
not
a
saying
thing.
the Federation has the capability of doing it, and they wanted to head that off, right?
I don't think so, because if you're consistently doing it, if that's your argument that the Zeon is consistently doing a thing, then I don't think you're shackled to stop doing it unless the other side is doing it to you and you need them to stop. I don't think Zeon is shackling, or metaphorically shackling if you're McQueeve, yourself from not doing it any longer unless you yourself are also suffering from it. Because again, if it's only the threat that they might do it to you and you've done it 7 times already, then it feels more like you want them to stop just as much as they want you to stop.
But we haven't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With lack of information, it's just, all you can work with is a feels like.
Yeah.
I don't see it making a lot of sense that Zeon enters into the Antarctic Treaty without having suffered that themselves. Well, I'm saying that from the point of view of, say, like a gamer, a tabletop gamer, right? If I haven't suffered...
It's game theory 101, yeah.
If I haven't suffered from it, then I can feel like I can keep doing this. Like, if we're playing Civilization, and I've nuked your capital 2 or 3 times, and you've only just researched the Manhattan Project, I'm like, seems like we're still good. Maybe next session I'll enter into the nuclear arms reduction treaty on the next World Congress. But until then, I am going to fill my cities with any nukes as I can.
So yeah, this episode actually it's good, but I find that I guess this is a whirlwind romance, because it's like, we met one time, we survived, we met again, I told you I loved you, you told me you loved me, now enter the theme of the story. War is stupid. Let's not fight the war anymore.
Yeah, no, war isn't stupid.
I know that. I'm talking about the episode of one.
I know. That's why I'm answering the question, not what you're saying, but it's literally the same thing I said while they were saying it. It's like, this is disingenuous to say. You know, someone like a pacifist who says there's never any reason to fight. And it's like, no, there's plenty of reasons to fight. Maybe there's no reason to actually do it. Like, if there's other paths. But often the path of least resistance requires the most force. Like
it's
water.
Also the pacifist conundrum, I would call it. That you might be willing to sacrifice yourself, right? And not fight. Like, oh yeah, I won't put up a fight. You can kill me. You can torture me. But what happens to other people, right? Would you stand by and let violence be committed against them? Would you stop it, right?
That's why the Sanct Kingdom from Gundam Wing is so much better than Orb, I feel like. You know, Orb's whole thing about we're not gonna weigh in the things of other nations. It's like Sanct Kingdom is a pacifist nation with an outstanding military. Like, we understand the difference between pacifism and
Orb has a standing military as well.
Yeah, but they have this whole ideals thing that they keep talking about and then ignoring. At least the Sanct Kingdom wasn't like ignoring its own shit. They were trying to figure it out. Like, I remember back in the day watching Gundam Wing and like, this makes no fucking sense. I grew up pacifist nation with a military, the strongest, one of the most advanced mobile suit militaries. It's like, but then again, you've got Dorothy, so who the fuck knows what's going on? Yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's usually my answer. I don't know. I don't claim to know anything until you argue with me a lot, and then I'll say I know everything.
No.
The more you
That's the
debate
thing,
me,
right?
the more hardened into my views that I get. By default, I will backtrack on my own thoughts if you give me enough time.
So the best answer is not to play at all.
Yeah, I do go by Joshua sometimes.
Josh A.
No. Well, I do self-destruct sometimes.
So there you have it. That was this episode.
Oh, sorry. No. This is what makes the show good. Sorry, we got off track there for a bit. I was going to answer to your whole why you didn't like elements of this episode, whirlwind romance, and I guess the element of the whirlwind romance makes it a little bit less believable, but I believe that the romance is the strength of the show. So, like, in my nostalgia goggles, this plays out better, but I didn't remember the stand that happens at side 2, where you remember the beginning of the stand, right? Or are you the one who didn't remember? Yeah. Okay, sorry, I had this conversation.
I didn't remember them, gassing the.
I don't remember anything about side 2, but then again, when I watched this was like the only Universal-centric Gundam thing I'd watched, so I didn't.
It could have been edited out of
toonami. Could be. Well, no, because
unless you saw them
Midnight Run.
You saw it at midnight.
Yeah, the Midnight Run on it. That's what I'm saying. Is I don't know. I don't know.
Somebody did it they still edited in a Midnight Run stuff that was.
Well, no, that was the whole thing. It was supposed to be not edited Midnight Run.
Yeah, but
But I don't know if I was staying up to watch Midnight Run or not, so I don't actually know there. But again, for me, it's the strongest part is the romance plot. Now it makes a little bit less sense because knowing what Shiro went through, and then like how.
By the way,
to be fair, I guess he doesn't really parse it out that way. He goes to the rampage like, Sion! But how then did she just ignore the fact that he was about to throttle her, and then I guess it was cool with that. Yeah, and then her flashback is, my brother's using me. I'll not be used. And that's equivalent.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that kind of falls apart there now that I'm thinking about it. Because again, my point was, had no connection to that the first time I watched it. So it was just kind of like this romance story. And now it's like, why are you so willing to give up everything you've been through for someone you've met once? But then again, maybe it's like love at first sight sort of thing, or...
Yeah, although it seems basically, I'm willing to forgive as long as she's hot, right? Is she hot? Okay, you're forgiven.
I mean, I don't think that's an element. Technically, he thinks Kiki's hot. He could have gone with that if he wanted to. Yeah. She's apparently into it. Would be a lot less work.
Let's end it on that note, shall we?
So I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?